So, Sal, I would like to get a little insight on how road rage and anger and resentments played part in your life, and how's your life look like now without having to endure those type of emotions?
Thanks for the question. First of all, I want to say that I'm 57, so there is a truth to mellowing with age. I will say that. Okay, but apart from that, the way I was 25 years ago, I had contempt for people. I just viewed people as, what can I get from this person? I was just very, very, geez, just an ugly, ugly person, like someone that you don't want to get involved with. But a lot of the people, unfortunately for them, they didn't see this, because I'm I'm an addict and I'm a charmer, so I could charm them, you know. But the ugliness eventually would come out, and when it came out, it was really bad. So there was a time in my life where, like, it didn't take much for me to feel slighted, disrespected, like like people are doing things to me, and how dare you? Because of my self-centeredness, I was like, I was the universe, like I was everything, so like, how dare you, I'm the king, like what the hell? That's not what I said to myself, but
Mm.
that is definitely the attitude that I carried around. So if you were going to do something that I felt, was not cool, I was going to let you know. So there was a lot of road rage. I would often, like, we have this highway here where I live. It's called the Highway 400, and I'm maybe about 5 minutes from getting onto the four. I would have like at least three road rage episodes every time, and it's like the road rage could be anything from, like, they're not moving fast enough, or they're moving too fast and they're cutting me off. And the reason they were cutting me off is because I was in such a hurry. Like, my life was so messed up. Like, I was like always in a hurry to get somewhere that I had no reason to be in a hurry to get to. But it's because I was just like restless, irritable, and discontent that I would do that. And like, I had a lot of intolerance, and I felt people were intolerant, but I was stepping on people's toes and expecting, like, nothing to come of it, right? Because, like I said before, like, I'm the king, like, I'm the man. Like, everybody should be doing exactly what I want them to do when I want them to do it. And if they don't, I'm going to get pissed, you know? Like, in the big, well,
It's okay. We do a lot of editing around here too, so it's okay.
but the thing is, like, I'm the conductor, I'm the producer. Like, I'm going to ask you something, and if the answer is not what I want it to be, then there's a problem. So there was always a lot of this going on. And as a result, I was going to get in people's face. I was going to be confronting people, and I was going to get into fights. And that's exactly what would happen. There was this one time where the guy in front of me, uh, no, sorry, he was behind me. I was in a van, and I used to be a property manager, so I was with one of the tenants, and I can't remember where we were going. Probably going to the dump to dump some garbage, but I'm like, I made a right. I did not signal. Okay, and this is the thing about me. If it was someone else that didn't signal and it affected me, that's it. It could be on, right? It could be the road rage. I was getting pissed off for things that I would do, in the same situation. So you can imagine what I was thinking, like what I thought of myself
Mm.
back then. So this person was honking at me, and I'm looking like, what the hell's going on? And he's like this, And I'm like, oh, like, I didn't signal. So like I just kept driving, he kept honking. And then finally, like, I just blow my top. And this is something I did with my kids too early on, is like I would tell them something, they wouldn't listen. I would tell them the second time louder, they wouldn't listen. And then the third time I would just explode. And yeah, so this is what kind of happened here. And when I lose it, I lose it. Like I just went totally blank. Like I just, it was like what do they call it? Like blind rage, where you can't see nothing and you just. So I put it in reverse and I smashed right back into him. Got out of the van. The guy that was sitting next to me was like in total shock. He doesn't know what the hell was going on. He had never seen me like that before. And yeah, so the guy in the car behind me was like in shock. He didn't get out of the car. He was probably a very decent person. And that's why he didn't get out, because if it was another person like me, we would have killed each other, right? Who knows? I would have probably got in the van and ran him over. Like that's how bad it was. So I understand that, like, why, like, there's good people out there in prison. I'll just tell you that. You know, there's people that transformed their lives in prison. Unfortunately, they didn't have the good fortune of just narrowly missing some of the shit they did. Because when I was young, I mean, I used to say, like, if this was the Wild West and I was able to kill people, I would have killed people. I would have killed, no doubt about it. Back then, if I had a gun, like we have gun control where I live, and like nobody carries guns. But if they did, yeah, I would definitely be in prison. So my rage was like off the charts. And when I started doing something about my addictions, that's when everything changed. When I started asking God for help, and I didn't realize that God could help me with this addiction, for example, right? Things started to change. When I started to actually love people, things started to change. And I just needed to let so much shit out, you know, that's exactly what it was, you know, letting it all out, you know, because I was bottling everything in. And once I did that, everything started to change. And today, as a result, like I have an amazing relationship with my wife. I have 3 kids that are doing amazing. You know, fortunately, they were young and they could still recover from having like this sadistic, animalistic father. And when I turned it around, like, you know, I saved them. I really saved their lives, right? Because I went from totally dysfunctional to functional, and I got them into good schools, and that really helped. And my older son went to therapy, and that really helped. So like things are really, really good today, you know. I thank God for helping me, and people like you, Shivroop, who we talk, and it's just so helpful to never forget, never ever forget where I was and where I could go. If I start isolating again, if I start having contempt for people, like what I know about addiction is that if I don't practice the spiritual principles, I could easily revert back into my character. All my character defects could come back, the rage. And I just want to end with this, like the beautiful thing about rage, like about getting rid of your rage, is like this is how I first, like when I was in rage, and a lot of the rage had to do with just being trapped in a 400-pound body. Let's face it. But you know, when if someone would bump into me, man, that's it. Like I would just like go crazy. Today, if somebody bumps into me, I actually turn around with a smile and I actually apologize. How the hell did that happen? But that's a big 360. And yeah, I'm just happy, joyous, and free today. And I never imagined I could ever be, but it's all about letting go and letting God, and just understanding that God could do for me what I could not do for myself. Thanks.